Hello, sports fans. It's me, Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke. And Monday Night Football was last night. So you know what that means. It's time for the week picks. And in this particular case, it'll be week 11. Now, sadly, I have to say that I only went 4-9 in week 10. Just 4-9, and overall I am 84-61. So I slipped from about 59% correct to right around 58. Dropped a whole percentage point. And I made a new hat for myself, the dunce hat. I'm not going to put it on because it doesn't fit in the screen, and it doesn't fit on my head. But I'm very deserving of this dunce hat after last week. 4-9. How does that happen? I mean, a lot of upsets. It's, the NFL, and they like to pride themselves on parity, and we certainly got that in week 10. So, without any further delay, let's get into the week 11 and hope we do a lot better in week 11. The Thursday night game is going to be the Steelers and the Browns. And the Browns are at home, and the Browns are coming off a big win over the Bills, and a big unexpected win over the Bills. But I'm still going with the Steelers. So take the Steelers in this one, because the Steelers, even with the injuries they've been suffering, they look a little like they got some life. They look pretty impressive. So I'm still going to stick with the Steelers. And the Browns, I mean, they barely beat the Bills, and they still have issues. So, yeah, go with the Steelers in that one. Now, starting the Sunday games, we've got the Ravens at home against the Texans. So, I'm definitely going with the Ravens. The Ravens were very impressive last week. They smoked whoever they played. I forgot who it was. But, yeah, the Texans, they're done. All right, maybe they're not. I don't know if they're done. I think they might be, but don't take them to beat Baltimore, definitely. So now we've got the Panthers and the Falcons. The Panthers are at home, and even without Newton, they seem to have moved on from Cam Newton, and I'm going to say go with the Panthers in this one over the Falcons, even though the Falcons did have an impressive win last week over the Saints. I'm not going to be fooled. That's not the real Falcons. And now we got two teams here that I really am not very confident picking this game at all. It's the Cowboys and the Lions. I'm going to go with the Cowboys, even though the Lions are at home. I don't know if they still have that rookie quarterback playing. I don't know if Stafford will be back. But I don't know that that would even matter, because the Lions are inconsistent and disappointing, just like Dallas is. So, but, if I have to pick one, and I do, for the purposes of my weekly picks, I'm going to go with Dallas. Now, the next one we've got is the Colts at home against the Jaguars. I'm going with the Colts, even though the Colts were very disappointing last week, maybe even the last 2 weeks. But anyway, I'm going to go with them over the Jaguars. I don't think the Jaguars really are that noteworthy or threatening. So even with that Minshew guy, no, still not good enough. Now the next game we got is the Bills and the Dolphins. The Dolphins are at home, and the Dolphins have shown some chutzpah the last 2 or 3 weeks. But I still got to go with the Bills, because the Bills are still the better team, even though they played very poorly last week against the Browns. And, I didn't see the game, but if you lose to the Browns, you played poorly. So I'm going to go with the Bills in that one, even though the Dolphins are starting to show that they're getting off life support. But still, and they're home. I mean, I'm bucking the odds here. So the Bills really need to come through for me. Now the next one we got is the Vikings and the Broncos. The Vikings will be at home. They're coming off an impressive win last week, so that I didn't think in a game that I didn't think they were going to win. So I'm going to go with the Vikings in this one. The Broncos they're just a mess, and I don't think that they've got what it'll take to beat the Vikings, especially coming off a big win last week. Now, we have the last week very disappointing Saints playing Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay, but I'm still going to go with the Saints in this one. Take the Saints. I think last week was probably an aberration when they played and lost to Atlanta. That should never have happened. They were at home, too, so that really shouldn't have happened. I don't know how it did, but I'm not going to bank on them losing again to an inferior team, even on the road. The next one we got is the Jets and the Redskins, and this one will be in Washington. And guess what? I'm going with the Jets. Yeah. The Jets look like they might have gotten a little bit of life. Now, granted, that life came at the expense of their crosstown rivals, the Giants, but I still think maybe they've got something in the tank, and I don't think the Redskins do have anything in the tank. And Darnold seems to think they've got a chance at the playoffs. Now, and he even said, you never know, we might win out. Okay, no, you won't win out. But, you know, that kind of confidence, you like to see that kind of confidence. And I'm sure we're not going to get that from any of the Redskins. So now the next one we've got is the 49ers and the Cardinals. The 49ers will be at home. I'm going with the 49ers, even though they lost a tough one last night to Seattle. But mainly because it's the Cardinals. You know, if they were playing another really tough team, that would have been a tough pick, but they're not. So I'm going to go with the 49ers at home against the Cardinals. The next one we've got is the Raiders at home against the Bengals. Yeah. Go with the Raiders. I mean, I don't know if the Bengals want to win now. So, you know, at this point, it's really, I mean, they're the most consistent team that has never let me down. The Bengals have not let me down yet. Well, they have, because there were some games I picked them to win. I thought they had looked pretty solid in a couple of losses. But now, no, I'm not falling for that one anymore. So now the next one we've got is the Bears on the road against the Rams. And yeah, I'm going with the Bears. It's just something tells me, pick the Bears, because the Rams were coming up with all kinds of crazy gadget plays to try to win last week. And I mean, if you got to reach into a bag of tricks to try to fool somebody, and they weren't even fooling people, because they would go for it on fourth down. They would come out with the punter. And if you've watched the Rams in past years, you know the punter has thrown passes for completions for first downs. But he's done it out of the punting formation and completely fooled the other team. Last week, they started out in the punting formation, and then the punter came up like he was the quarterback, and they got into a traditional offensive set. Who are you fooling? So I don't know. I don't know what that, I mean, I think Sean McVay might have lost his mind temporarily, but it does show that they are having their issues. They're having their issues in LA. So even though the Bears are also, they're coming off a big win, and maybe they got their confidence back, maybe they got their swagger back, maybe they found their mojo, and they'll go in there and beat them. I'm thinking, I just got a feeling about that one. So now we've got the Patriots and the Eagles. The Eagles are at home, but yeah, let's go with the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots came off that embarrassing loss. Then they had a bye week. I don't think Belichick's losing to any Eagles team after that, after all of that. There's no way. And then the Monday night game, next Monday night, we've got the Chiefs and the Chargers. The Chargers are at home, but it doesn't matter. I'm going with the Chiefs. They're the better team. Mahomes is back, assuming he doesn't get injured again. And I'm going to go with them. So bye weeks this week are by Seattle, Green Bay, Tennessee, and the Giants. So those teams have the week off. Hopefully I can restore my mojo and get like a 12-win week this week, because I really need one now. So anyway, those are my picks. Here's my contact information, as usual. You got the Twitter, you got the Instagram, you got the email account. So leave me a comment below if you have a comment. What picks did you disagree with me on? Let me know that. What picks do you think are pure genius? Although at this point you have to assume there probably are none, since I just came off a 4-9 week. And, let me know what your feelings are about it. Give me a thumbs up on the video if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't. If you think I got a lot wrong and I'm headed for another 4-win week, which might just happen. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell and get notifications all, so that every time I put out a video, you know about it and you can go and watch it and see what I've got to say. But for right now, that's my Week 11 picks, and it's Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke, signing off.